Mario Kart World has been out for 1 week, and I am having a blast playing it. This is the most fun I've had in a Mario Kart game, or any game for that matter, in a long time. I've experienced much that this game has to offer, and yet have so much to improve and see. Today I want to talk about my thoughts about Mario Kart World, the good, the bad, what I would change, and what I would like to see in the future. This is semi-scripted. I have some talking points jotted down that I want to cover, but a lot of this is off the top of my head. I won't be covering everything about the game, just mainly the things I am deeply passionate about. After playing a lot online, I feel as though this is the best online's been as far as Mario Kart Online goes. I don't really know if there's any improved netcode at all, but it just feels better. I feel as though when I hit someone, they tend to actually be hit, and a lot less teleporting racers around the track. I love that trailing has been changed so that you don't get hit by someone else's trail item unless it happens on your screen. None of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe shenanigans with like you getting hit by someone's trail from half a mile down the track just because Nintendo says that you were there in that spot at that time. It was nonsense. The downside is sometimes your item might get used because a player hit your trail on your screen, leaving you defenseless, but this was quite uncommon, and this is so much better than the alternative and benefits you way, way more. You just don't notice it because you're no longer getting hit by trails when you shouldn't be. You can't talk about online without talking about the Mario elephant in the room being the worldwide races. You see, in standard worldwide races, you choose between 3 tracks given and a random option. Players may vote for their next track. However, more often than not, all 3 of the non-random options will include the highway intermission sections, racing towards the chosen track, and racing only 1 lap upon reaching the destination. This sucks because it forces everyone to pretty much choose random. If you want to play standard Mario Kart, and all the tracks in this game are great, there are no real stinkers in my opinion. After having played them all, some personal favorites that stand out are Bowser's Castle, Great Question Block Ruins, Choco Mountain, Dino Jungle, and the new Rainbow Road. Just let's play them consistently, Nintendo. Here's the thing, I'm not even an intermission hater. I think these types of courses have its own set of skills you need to master to be great at it, but I believe Knockout Tour fulfills that role for these tracks perfectly. I also don't think they should be completely removed from online racing. I'm at 8.5k VR, and some people this high still vote for the intermission courses, so as long as there's some demand for the tracks, they should remain. But I think the voting should always be split between 1 intermission track, 2 standard 3-lap circuit tracks, and random. This sentiment can certainly change down the road. The people currently voting for intermission tracks may not know random always gives 3 laps, or maybe the novelty hasn't run out for them yet. Give it a few more weeks or months and the time will tell. I'm not advocating for intermissions in online. I always vote random and I encourage others to do the same, but I'm trying to look at all the sides of this, playing a bit of devil's advocate. As long as there's a demand for the highway tracks, from people still voting for them, I don't mind them breaking up the 3-lap tracks every now and then. But it really should be 75% standard 3 laps, 25% intermissions, not the other way around it feels it is. If I had to choose though, I would say just remove them flat out from online, but it is a lot of content we would be losing, and I don't want to swing too hard in the other direction. Knockout Tour is amazing. This is where the highways felt like what they were made for. As I said, it's a different skill set you need to learn to be good, really training awareness and decision making, and positioning to be in the optimal spot without being eliminated by the next checkpoint. This mode is so intense and stressful in a fun way. Perfect game mode. I hope they add more rallies down the line, since the possibilities of routes are pretty much like limitless. So having only 8 cups is unfortunate. Come on Nintendo, I know some great routes that would be perfect for Knockout Tour. And it seems the competitive format will remain 12 players, free-for-all and/or teams, which is fair since 24 racers might be way too chaotic. Maybe this game I will participate in competitive, since while I thought about playing 8 Deluxe competitive, I figured it was too late in its life to join, and it didn't really interest me enough to go the extra step and join lounges. However, I do hope they choose to support a 12-player mode if they haven't already, whether it's knockout mode or 3-lap circuit tracks. If I want a less competitive setting and want to be pelted by hundreds of items in the mid-pack, let me. I feel the competitive community should strive to make use of every new game's features, and I feel as though just flat out writing 24 players off the table is just attempting to make the game Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at home. 20 player mode can be what ARAM is to someone who's Rift in League of Legends, a more chaotic side mode with its own competitive ladder as an option for those who want to take it a bit more seriously. Just using that as a comparison is what comes to mind. The items are great aside of a few problem ones, and I'm talking about the boomerang. The boomerang and Fire Flower in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe were notorious for just being a mid-pack item spam, and I actually do believe every change to Fire Flower was good. The fireballs are slower, bigger, and you have less fireballs in total, allowing for it to be reacted to and played around. The boomerang, however, was changed for the worse. It is incredibly common, you now get more throws, and now it remains in your primary item slot until broken or all throws used. This item feels awful to be hit by, to use, and to be pulled, because in most circumstances, I would rather just have another item. This item contributes mostly to the mid-pack item spam. There are times when there are 3 boomerangs being flung around, and you can't do anything about being hit other than pray. Star was nerfed, now being more uncommon to pull, and not providing a speed boost or not as big as one in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, comparatively, only providing invincibility and being able to drive off-road. This item does not feel that good to pull because in every circumstance I would rather a Mega Mushroom that does the same thing as the Star on top of giving an incredible speed boost. And even the Boo is better as it provides invulnerability, immunity to off-road, and gives you an item. It's basically 2 items in one. With both Mega Mushroom and Boo being way more common than the Star, it just makes the Star feel not as good to pull. It feels useless, because I'd rather just a Mega Mushroom. If I had to make changes, I would make the boomerang less common and revert it to the way it functioned in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Same goes with the Star. Having the boomerang be less common and the Star being more common may help the mid-pack not feel like a torture chamber. Auto Trail is a thing. I don't care about how it will affect team matches. I think that is a get good kind of solution. However, I do not like some items not being shown being trailed. In Mario Kart World, if you can't interact with another player's items, it is not shown trailing them. This is fine for most items, but for Boomerang, and especially the Horn, you should be able to see them. The Horn not being shown just leads to unnecessary aggression in the top positions, as it is not ideal to overtake a player in first who has the Horn as they can deal with the blue shell. But since you don't know anymore what players have, players just take out the players in first or second given the opportunity, whether or not it was a good decision, because they don't have the information. They don't know if they had a Horn or not. So now every player just kills every other player the second they see them and the second they have a chance. The hammer is fun, it feels good to use. Coin Shell has some strategy to use. You can use it to hit a bunch of players down the middle of the track, get yourself coins, use it defensively, or just toss it back to avoid giving other players coins. The feather is a bit niche, but still a defensive item that can be used to take alternate routes. I like the item selection all around, pretty good. I don't got a whole lot to say about free roam. The first thing I did was hop in with friends and explore around, collect cosmetics, and get a feel for the game. I wish there was something more grandiose to do. It seems as when brainstorming, the developers were thinking about, can they do free roam open world? And not following it up with should they or how will they. I've seen YouTubers and streamers still have lots of fun with what is provided in the free roam. There's this one streamer I watched who just found a bunch of toads around a campfire with a stereo and he danced his car with it. I thought that was so cute. There are little things to be found roaming around. This game feels great, by the way. I love the physics and that you can move the cars, and being able to free roam while waiting for the next race to begin online is so fun. You can practice tracks or just hang out with folks. The soundtrack is stellar. This may not be Game of the Year, and that's completely fair. I do think this game deserves awards for a fantastic soundtrack. You can tell lots of effort, passion, and love went into it. And when I brought this game over to play with my friends for some classic couch gaming, there were moments where we would just take a break and talk, or just go on our phones. We were just vibing while some Mario Kart jazz plays in the background. And one of them even mentioned how nice of a moment this is. Like, this game already created a core memory. Like, I'm gonna look back and feel nostalgic for that. Nintendo, please add a jukebox so we can hear all of this amazing music you added in the game. Everyone, go out of your way and listen to a playlist online. It's good. Overall, I love this game. The new tech with rail grinding and wall grinding, the physics, costumes, knockout tour, and the actual tracks are all great. Even if the honeymoon phase ends and people just go back to Deluxe, or the Wii players inevitably just go back to Mario Kart Wii, I will still be playing this game. I'm having so much fun, and I'm almost certain Nintendo will add DLC to this game. It's just a matter of when. And while I don't agree with IGN most of the time, I actually do think they hit the nail on the head with their rating of 8 out of 10. They pretty much mentioned all these points. This game's foundation is so good, but it fumbles right at the finish line. I'm very interested to see how this game will be in even just a few months from now, even just like the perception on it. Let me know what you dislike or dislike about the game. Do you agree? If not, I don't know, leave hate comments or something. I don't know, I'm going to play more Mario Kart. Goodbye.